another episode of Gelato Talk with your guy, Marc Papers. You already know what it is, how to be an MC. And today we will be discussing what is a PRO. Okay, so a lot of people always ask me what that is. They always, have questions on that particular subject. So I figured I'd just cover that today. And before we continue, shout out to Monster Energy. I love drinking these; they're so fire. But PROs, right? As a musician, you really should be familiar with what a PRO is. You want to know how they work, and you should definitely sign up to be a part of one, right? Because anytime it comes down to your publishing, we need to talk about PROs. Your publishing is the backbone of all your songwriting, all your credits, and any longevity that you see yourself with in the future is going to come from your ability to obtain publishing, right? So for example, like if you're an artist and you're on a label and you sign a deal that they do a 360, so they get some of your performing money. So when you go on shows and you get 50,000, you get a bag 50,000, whatever. If they get in 20%, then you got to give what is that, 15,000, sorry, my math is off, 10,000 to the label, right? So every show you get 50K, you got to send 10,000 to the label because you have a 360 deal. That also applies to your publishing. And that's a bag that, while you don't get it up front, right? You're gonna get your publishing in the next year, or because it takes like back. It's like back money. Like it takes a little while to accumulate them to add it up, and then they pay it out to you. But the next year you want your money. So if you got a back end bag of 50,000 and you have that 360 deal, the label actually also gonna get 10,000 out of your 50,000 back end money, right? But a lot of artists, they don't even claim their publishing, or they signed a deal that they don't get any publishing at all. So the label just takes that 50,000 back in, you right? You know what I'm saying? And because they're getting 50,000 up front per show, right? So every show you do, you getting 50,000. So how many shows can you do? You can do a show if you're popping in the Northeast, right? You could do a show in Rhode Island, then Delaware, and you could hit up Connecticut. You could hit up Philly. You could go to Pittsburgh. You could go to New England. Like you could do Boston. Like you pretty much good money just going around. If you down for that lifestyle to go perform. You're gonna get good money. That you're gonna get more than the label you're seeing. But what you don't see is every time you perform, there's a publishing royalty being paid out, depending on the venue side, and that's just being tracked. Everybody they perform, they know what songs you're performing. Like you're a big artist, like they're tracking the songs, and it's getting logged into their sound scan. You know what I'm saying? That's where that term comes from, sound scan. You know, they look at the sound scan the later on. They look at, okay, well, this artist is generating this from the radio, that side of the publishing, and also the performance publishing. A lot of artists are not collecting that. So, when we talk about what a PRO is, it's so important. Like it's you have to know where your publishing is going. If you're cool, if you sign the deal and you're cool with not getting publishing, you know, that's your business. Again, I wouldn't recommend such a deal. Like why would you not want to get, a percentage of your bag? Like you should get a percentage of everything that you accumulate with this rap shit, right? Like no matter what you decide to put in for it, it should give you something back, right? Like you shouldn't be writing your own music, your own songs, and then not getting paid for that shit, right? Because you're getting paid when you're performing it. Why aren't you getting paid for writing the song that you wrote? In our genre in hip hop, many people write their music, right? Like it's not like pop, like Katy Perry. Lady Gaga might, but who else? Any pop artists you've seen over the last fucking 50 years, like Madonna and Cher, dating all the way back to them, and moving forward, any fucking pop act you've seen, uh they don't write their music. Like, it is what it is. Like, even Rihanna, shout out to her. She don't write that shit. You know what I'm saying? They so hot, and you want to, this is another arousal artist. Like, you got to look at it. Like, people think that it makes them better because they write their songs, right? I see everyone saying now, oh, Lil Wayne, he's so great because you don't write it. Yeah, well, it's cool. you know People get paid good money for writing music. There's nothing wrong with fucking writing your raps, your song. Most people don't just go in and say, okay, let me just swing the first thing off my head. If anything, that's the shit they throw out. Like, when I write a record now, I create a fucking reference record, right? So I make a record and I make, what do I want this song to sound like? So we'll go in the booth and we'll just freestyle, right? We'll just say XYZ over the beat. It may have words in it. It may not have words in it. It may be a freestyle that I've said on another song, so I could just hear the flow. I can hear what pockets it's in. I'm really testing this shit out. That's my records, bitch. That's our reference. And because we do this in a good studio, the microphone's good, we put a little EQ on it, it sounds good. Like, it'll sound like, better than my old songs that I fucking spent so much times on. It'll sound like a good record. Like, I could put this shit out, like, if I really wanted to, but it wouldn't be the greatest record. It would be below standard. But essentially, it would be, it still will sound good. The reason why I'm saying this is it takes time to develop songs. You don't just put out the fucking first shit, you know what I'm saying? So what you doing as a songwriter, it has to take in context to getting paid on the back end, because, right, what you're doing is you're writing a song, motherfucker. This shit is not like you're writing a song and this shit is easy, right? You're writing a complete song. It has a verse, it has a hook, it has a bridge in it. I hear artists doing all these flows. I hear people rapping, and they're putting like metaphors in it, and they're telling a story. You're doing all this stuff. You should be getting paid. You're publishing on the back end. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? We live in an era now that you can just do this shit yourself. Like, it's so easy. Like, any country that you live has a PRO in their country that you can use for free, I'm sure. Uh, but what I want to, again, I want to go back for a second. I want to make sure I'm covering this. So, what is a PRO? A PRO is a publishing rights organization, right? And what they do is they collect your royalties as a songwriter, right? You don't know when Hot 97 is playing your song at two o'clock, when, if you're in LA, how the fuck would you know, right? You're not gonna have people listening to the radio all day long. That's what they do. And they don't necessarily listen to the radio all day long, but what they have, every radio station has to report what songs that they played, right? They have to submit, what songs they played at what time, and things like that. I think DJs, they account like different. Like, if you like mix a song and you change its BPM and shit, and you're playing like partial to the song, then that's not a cause of royalty, right? Like, you don't get the songwriting credit on that shit, right? If they just play your shit. That's why, like, a lot of people say, like, even like that stuff, like, if you have a DJ playing your record on the radio, like, you're not getting paid for that. Like, that's promo. But they're gonna go around, they're gonna collect all this stuff, all of the organizations that need to report where they played music. They're gonna get that stuff, that information, and then they're gonna collect it for you. They keep it in a basket, and they're gonna pay it out to the publisher. The publisher, whoever published the song, gets paid this money. And a lot of artists do not claim this publishing, and you don't need to have a publishing company. You can, I have a publishing company to claim myself, but you don't need one. All you need to do is be a songwriter. Create one songwriter account. If there's one writer, which is you, and you wrote the song, you can claim publishing on the song. That's it. Like, you wrote it, right? That's, you don't need to put anyone else. You don't need to worry about who made the beat. None of that. That's fine. Don't worry about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The person that made the beat, you need to tell them, hey, I published this record, and however you got that beat, you should already have a contract with them. That goes back to your type of business that you're running. Are you leasing your beats? Are you stealing them from YouTube? That's for you to decide. You're publishing for the with the producer should be already worked out. Right? What right before we get to this point, but we're talking just as a songwriter. Like, if you write a song to someone else's beat, you could write a song to fucking DMX, Get At Me Dog. Like, you write a song over his song, right? You take his beat, you made another song. You can still publish those lyrics. Like, you wrote those lyrics. Those No one owns those lyrics. You own those lyrics. You the songwriter. So I'm telling you, like, this shit it's not as complex as you may think it is. Like, I think a lot of people look at PROs and publishing organizations like, oh, this shit looks mad confusing. Oh, why do I need that? You need to collect it. You wrote the fucking record. At the very least, you need to get what you owed. It's like, let's say that you uploaded your record on United Masters, or you uploaded your record on DistroKid, and you were gonna get back $0 for your streaming royalties, you know. But you have to enter your email address so you can get your streaming royalties. You would fucking go enter it. Everyone would go enter it if it was another step to get your royalties. Because I know everyone claims that shit. It's the same shit as back in the day when people, artists were just getting their CD money. They were like, oh shit, we getting the CDs? Cool, give us that. Oh, we getting the tour money? Oh, cool, give us that. Oh, we getting the merch? Oh, cool, give us that. They're not looking at the back. Yo, you get paid again if you wrote these records. And again, in our genre, in hip hop, you write your records, you write your bars. Like, I could, most of the time when I make a beat, I produce something, it comes with fucking um like a hook on there, or I wrote a whole song already. Like, I can literally give you a verse, I can give you a hook, I can give you a bridge, I can give you a melody, I can give you a whole top line of the record that you can have before, or I can give you the beat by itself. If you got some your own vibe or something you want to put with it, cool, we could do that too. But I already have a song for this shit, you know. But you don't have to take it. You know what I'm saying? I always have stuff already ready in mind of what I'm gonna give the artist, and half the time they don't take that shit. They don't want it. No rapper's gonna feel comfortable saying, "Oh yeah, I took this verse from the producer." You know, half the time if I give them the hook, they don't want the hook. They want their own hook on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. Like, when I make the beat, as a producer that makes the beat, we have a concept in mind that you probably should make to the song. Like, if I name a song, certain shit, I thought it should go this way. So if you're putting something else on there, then unless you're fucking that creative, you're J. Cole, motherfucker. I don't know. I think it's better to just go with the style I already gave you, or like I already wrote the song. You know what I'm saying? Like, artists like Rihanna or Katy Perry, they would kill for some shit like this because they're pretty, they have the good voice, they have the presentation already, they have the fans, the mark. They don't have to do shit. They just have to market that they dropped some new shit. But they're fans already, and everyone's gonna go listen to that shit. They just need good music. They just can't drop some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They probably not that creative to fucking write it themselves, which is all good. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was that lit that I could just drop a record. Like Drake, he could just drop a record. You're gonna listen to it. Whether or not it's good or not, whether or not I think it's good, or whether or not it's gonna get replayed and replayed, it's gonna do well. Like he's gonna get a million streams right off the bat, or tens of millions of streams right off the bat, and people are gonna keep playing it. People are gonna play it to see if it's whack. People are gonna call it trash. People are gonna listen to it, and then if it's a good song, they'll keep playing it. They'll add it to their playlist, and it'll just trickle in their playlist. But they really won't play it a lot. But they'll get streams. Like you ever look at your iTunes list, like after listening to mad songs, like it shows you like kind of like a list of all the songs that you like, right? Like you get to see this song has accumulated so many plays at the top because you really like that song. You play that song a lot. And there's some songs that you really don't play. Like, oh, I thought listen to this song more than that. And you really don't. Then the songs that you're like, oh shit, I forget. I always listen to that song. You don't even think about it, but some songs you really like, you play that shit a lot. Those are the songs that you want to put in your catalog that have people fucking pay you. Make a fucking hot song. Make that pop song. Make that rock song. Make that song outside your genre. Make that song that lo-fi song. Make that song that's gonna touch people and give you that other fan base and pull people in, and then you'll have your core fans. You know what I'm saying? Just keep building your fan bases like that. You know, I feel like everyone wants to do the gimmick way. Oh, let me be popping on social media. Oh, let me look like I'm lit. That stuff's cool. That stuff's cool. But if you just focus on the fucking music and you just made a hot song is a hot song. It's gonna travel. Like you ever click in or scroll and you hear a hot song, you heard a hot song. It makes you stop for a second. You're like, oh shit, let me see what's up with this shit. And there's some people that be online looking for music, starving for new music. They don't want to hear that old shit. They want to hear new. They don't give a fuck who making it either. They just want to make sure it's good quality. So if your shit is good quality and you're writing good stuff, you are on the path to be a good songwriter. Having your own publishing is key. In America, where I'm based out of, we have BMI, we have eight, we have BMIs, and we have ASCAP. That's what we have in America. BMI is the free one. They've been around for a while, but you can purchase a publishing account. You could do that too, and I'll get into that. And ASCAP costs, I think, $50 or $100, something like that, USD, to get started on that. But every country, like I said, has a free option. Pretty much, it's like they have to give you a way to publish your work for free, to protect the art. Like I don't know any countries that says that you have to pay for that. That's fucking crazy. But those are the ones in America. In Canada, there's CSAC. That's a big one, so you'll see that. Mexico has SACM. SACM. In Africa, there's ACLS. That's in Africa. Africa has a different one as well. And in Europe, there is PRS for music in London. So, all over the world, there's different PROs because, again, this is an important thing. Like, there's nowhere that you're gonna go and this people are not publishing their work. Let's think about this, right? If you were signed to a label, if you were signed to Def Jam or Interscope, right, or Atlantic or Sony, whoever, just name it, right? Any record that you make, an album that you put out for them, a single, because that's why a lot of artists, when they do records with their boy, or they take money on the table and they try to put out a record, and the label says no, because they're not publishing that. That's why. It's a process. They have to go through channels and they do all the shit and they make sure it's published and everything is right and the contracts is written out and who owns what. It's sealed off somewhere. Who owns the fucking song? That's why now, if you see, that's why I love the new internet with all these podcasts and we're seeing all these rappers pop up. You see who's doing well, by who invested their money. Right? And you see the ones that's fucked up or the ones that wasted their shit and now they're crying. Now they online mad because their money's running low. Why? Because they probably don't collect any publishing. It's that big. Like it's you're publishing the money that you get as your royalties for your songwriting publishing is fucking huge. Why do you think people don't want to give that shit up? It makes no sense. It's like if you produce and you make beats, you have to get some sort of publishing on these records. Like I don't see how you're not. Like if you're not doing that as a producer, like I feel like I select the good producers when I check it. And there's a way to look at this thing too. But the good producers when I check the records, they definitely have credits like DJ Toomp, Kanye West, Timberland, Swiss Beats. Like when they make a beat, they make sure that they also get that fucking composition publishing, which this PROs collect. You know what I'm saying? So while that artist is on tour, you're on tour performing this shit at Rolling Loud. Well, motherfucker, that's fine and dandy, but that's why they made this royalty because you're gonna get paid a certain amount because you're on stage performing it, but they don't need me to make the music, motherfucker. It's like they have drum machines. Like you don't need me there to do that. Like no one needs me to there to fucking put boom, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to make the drums for you to perform. Like you could just play it on the CD, motherfucker, or you could play it on the. I'll send you the wave file. You know what I'm saying? But the audience wants to see you. They want to hear you perform. Your vocals different. You know what I'm saying? So you the one on stage. You know what I'm saying? You doing all the work. So we get us a quick percentage back. But it's a couple of $1,000 depending on the venue. Like somebody goes to Rolling Loud and performs on one of your beats and you getting a fair share of that record, you know what I'm saying? That's a couple $1,000 that's coming in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's easy money. You're sitting on your couch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta claim these records, this royalty. It's incredible to me that artists are not is not doing that, but that's why we're here to focus and get this fixed and get you your royalties. You know what I'm saying? You gotta collect all of your bag. It's one of the most important things for any type of artist adventure, any type of one that's on this journey. Collect all of your bag. Don't leave no fucking bag on the table. Don't let no one fuck with you. Don't say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna pay somewhere to perform." Get the fuck out of here. In every city, I don't give a fuck where you live. There's open mics, bro. Even if I used to go to the open mics that didn't even have fucking rap in there, motherfucker. Go to the one with the country that plays niggas are playing guitar. Go perform in this shit. Don't tell them what you're doing. Just go there, and then when you're ready, like, oh, give the DJ your CD. Bring a CD, motherfucker. It's gonna work. Or bring a little one of those thumb drives. Get a SD card, something. Bring that shit with you and just perform your rap shit and leave. You know what I'm saying? They gonna actually they're gonna let you rock out. You know what I'm saying? Because they fuck with that shit too. They're gonna be happy that they bringing in a new crowd in there. Music is music. Music is fucking love, bro. Anytime I go somewhere and I see a rock band and I talk to them niggas, they be the realest motherfuckers. They be mad, went through mad shit. They be mad fucking mad real down to earth because they know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I wish more artists would perform and go out there and perform. And this is specifically too. If you're an artist that you go out and perform, you have to go get your publishing credits. You're leaving money out on the table. They even have now, it's called a set list, right? BMI has this. It's called set list. And what they have is once you go through and you do a performance, you go and you type this in, they tell you, they'll go collect the performance. So pretty much you're telling them in advance, hey, I already performed at Madison Square Garden. So you should be getting a sound scan from them saying that I performed there. So pretty much in advance, they'll go and get your shit. That way, instead of getting paid in the fourth quarter of 2025, you'll get paid in the fucking first quarter of that same year. You know what I'm saying? It's they haven't they didn't even have this shit like this before. It's like it's better now. You know, it's so much better now. It's easier for you to do. It's very easy. You just type in your name, type in your real information. Like they're gonna ask you for your social. Type that stuff in. Don't be afraid. They're not gonna sell it. They're not gonna steal your shit. They're not gonna sell it to the fucking government. Okay? It's just so you could collect your performance royalties. And the cool thing about it, you can still get a paper check. And I used to send mine there because I kind of wanted to it look more sweeter and shit. I might switch it back to this, but I got a new bank account. Or you could do direct deposit, but you can actually get a paper check. So you can send this shit to your parents' house, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Or just send this shit to your own house, like, yo, I got, here's my royalties, right? Like, it's gonna start small. I used to get a royalty check, it was like for 4 cents. I'm like, yo, why'd y'all niggas mail this shit? Like a little royalty check. And then I started getting royalty checks for a little bit more, for like $10, shit like that. I'm like, oh, this shit's nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at least I could buy something to drink with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Then it would be a little bit more, like $50, $80. I'm like, oh shit. I could probably buy myself a couple of t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it goes up. Like the more your catalog grows, the more you do performances, the more you're out on the road, the more people know you, the more your name, the more all this stuff, your catalog goes up. You know what I'm saying? This is where they talk about catalog. Like a lot of artists now, and I think it's dope. I think it's dope. I'm happy hip hop is a part of this. When you see artists are selling their whole catalogs, like I forgot how much Wayne got. I think what was it, 100 or 200 million? He got like 150. Future got 75 million. Like these artists are selling their catalogs. That is fucking lit. Like imagine all of the records you made, right? You got like, cause and these guys got thousands, right? I'm part of websites that I see like royalties. I see like songs for sale, and it shows me like how much did the song generate. It's on different radio stations, or maybe the artist is still performing it. Like the song is generating money somehow, right? So it shows you, hey, do you want to buy this song? The song is generating $5,000 every 12 months. You could bid on it right now for like, $12,000, right? So like you pay like a multiple. So it's gonna take you a couple of years to earn it back. But essentially, if this song stays the same, right? Or if it even goes up, you'll get your fucking money back 100%. So you can own records from different artists now, right? So that's why you see all these artists are selling their catalog. It's a great thing. So if you make quality music, if you're in this for the long run, this is a great time to be a musician. You really can develop, you can really show people what you're here to do. You can give them a nice message. You can build your own fan base, one fan at a time, and you can own all of your music, get credit for it, and get paid for it. All ball into one. And all you have to mainly do is just claim all of your credits, right? The same way you upload your song to DistroKid or United Masters, whoever, or CD Baby, whoever you use, as your distributor. After that, song goes up there, upload it to your PRO for your songwriting credits, right? And then come back to me and we'll talk about getting your micro sync publishing and getting your what is it, your sound exchange, your direct publishing. There's different levels, there's different bags. Like, like just because you upload it, if I use DistroKid, right? It's not their job to get the money from when I perform it. Like how would the fuck would they know? I just told them to put my song on all the streaming platforms. That's what I told DistroKid to do. I didn't tell them to go get my publishing royalties from anywhere else. I do like CD Baby. That I would tell them CD Baby is one of the best ones because they actually put that shit together. Because they ask you, they say like, well, do you want us to go get your publishing? Like, do you own this record? Again, they actually can tie it between there and they get your publishing all at once. Really great service, but you pay more for CD Baby, and I feel like you don't get a lot of other services that the newer ones have, but you get that. But it's really important, right? Because they stick to the basics. CD Baby is one of the first places I ever used to upload any records when I first did Kick Game Crazy. I think that was back in like 2009 or something like that. Yeah, that was an old record. I leased the beat from Beat Geeks. This was back on when we had SoundClick. So I got the beat from there, and I was excited. I even got it, so I recorded it in my own lab. As you see, the credits will say like top 5 labs, mixed and mastered, Mark Papers. So mixed by Mark Papers, but I had a mastering engineer. I hired someone. I found them on Google. Everyone was talking like $300, $500 just to master this, right? And then $100. I think I found this guy. He was $100 or something like that. But I think I wasn't a good mixer either. So the record I sent him was hot, had no headroom. So he made it even hotter. But he made it like he made it like standard sounding, but it sounded like a mess. So that was my first record I ever dropped. It was through CD Baby, and I had that one published too. You know what I'm saying? I had it through a different account, but that's when I got that first check for like 4 cents. And it probably was tracking. I was performing the record. A couple people paid for it. They bought it. Maybe they played it somewhere else. I don't know. But if that's what really taught me, like, oh shit, there's other bags out here. You know what I'm saying? With this music shit, it's you performing the record, and it's the record having its own life of its own, being in its own pocket. The record having its own place that it can play at barbecues, at family events, at clubs, at different events. So people are hearing the record even though you're not there to perform it. You know what I'm saying? That's where these royalty companies come in to collect that money for you. It's real straightforward. I think it's really the best thing to always make sure that you're adding to your repertoire as one of the things you're doing when you're uploading. And if you have any other questions, let me know. If you fuck with this podcast, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. You already know it's your guy Marc Papers, another Gelato Talk episode. How to be an MC. If you got any questions, leave in the comments below. You already know. Get your